Look at that. Super kitty. Just watching a moth outside. Show him, Milo. Get him. Welcome back to another video. It's gonna be kind of lengthy, so I apologize. I tried to make this as short as I could, but still hold most of the details of what I'm doing. I started with the hood because it's the easiest part to start with. So this is wrapping my car. I have about 10 hours of footage condensed down to about 11 minutes. Everything is sped up about times 10,000. So here I'm moving to the top of the car, and if you look on the edge of the roof, there's like a thin green tape, and that's called knifeless tape. It is a tiny piece of tape that's kind of malleable and has string in it, so it can conform to surfaces, and when you overlap the wrap over that tape, you can pull it and it'll give you a perfect cut all the way around so that you can tuck it into the trim. As you can see right here, I have the Autobots and Decepticons on both sides as decals underneath the wrap, so when you put the wrap over it, it kind of has a three-dimensional look to it. And that's called embossing. It's really cool with a color like this because the color changes. So you see the shape of the vinyl a little better, but it's subtle, so most people don't ever really notice until I tell them. And then right here I'm moving on to the trunk. Every piece I pretty well use that knifeless tape. It made things way easier. So this trunk I tried to do in one piece, and with it being my first time, I didn't know all the good ways to do it. And I got to this point right here, and when I got to the recession where the license plate is, I had too much material, and I ended up just peeling it back and then running knifeless tape underneath it on the edge of the trunk. So you can see right there I cut it, and then I started with another piece. I could have got away with redoing it. I had enough material, but I didn't know that at the time, and I didn't want to chance it. And that seam turned out so well, I mean, you couldn't even see it. The wing that I put on it was covering it anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. And this is just kind of a quick shot. This color was really weird. Like, when I saw people with it on their cars, I really liked it. So I ordered a sample of the matte finish and the clear finish, or gloss, and I didn't like it at all. I was really leery about it. So I ended up going through with it, and the more of the car I did, the more it started coming together, and you could see more of the colors. All you could see was just like nasty teal color. And once I started getting bigger areas done, then you really started seeing the color show more. And yes, there's a cut right there in the license plate, straight down behind the license plate. And when you're standing up, this car's so low you can't even see that, so it wasn't a big deal to me, at least. It wouldn't be feasible if I was doing this for a customer and I did that. So, yeah. The Fender, it was a little challenging. The part in the bottom left corner, you can see how it was getting a lot of tension. I just added a little bit of heat and a lot of pressure with my hand, and it went right down. But the Fender's got a lot of shape to it, so it was a little bit challenging. It's kind of why I saved it after I did all the flat surfaces. I used the finish line tape and those little vent covers, or they call them garnishes, but you can see how clean the cut is. And then on all the edges I use that tape, and where the fender well is I just use a knife for that. And a nice butt shot along the way. So these garnishes I covered in gold Plastidip, and then I got new black markers on the side. I also got all badges in matte black, and I think that looked a lot better. But this car is a Scion FRS 2015, and since I was getting the matte black, I just got the Toyota GT86 emblems. And for anyone that doesn't know these cars, there is the Scion FRS, which was brought over to the US. And when it came out, Toyota had what's called the GT86 in Japan, and we did not get that. And then Subaru has the BRZ, and all three of these cars are practically identical. The BRZ has the grill upside down, and it looks a little bit different, but other than that, minor details. But all three of them have the Subaru FA20 boxer motor, 4-cylinder, and that's why it's common for people to put the Toyota emblems on these. I personally could care less. I mean, the car looks cool, but the Scion name is kind of more of a teenage name to most people, so Toyota's a little bit higher, maybe. I don't know. But I didn't get any footage of doing the rear quarter panels because I had to have several family members help, and there was just too much stuff in the way, and the sheet of vinyl went from the front of the door to the back of the car, so it took a lot of time, and there was a lot of people in the way, so I didn't really video it. This front fender I messed up on. I actually cut it too short on the top by the hood, and I tried to pull it all back and stretch it even higher, and it miserably failed, so I just ended up having to redo it. The door was pretty straightforward. So here I have the tail lights removed, and right now I'm using the finish line tape on that bottom diffuser part. Here you can see the finish line tape. Well, it's not finish line, design line. Ran all the way down here. I just got the edge of the tape right into the gap, so the string is out just a little bit, and I just tuck it into the fender there. And it's the same on the other side. This being my first time, I couldn't get the trunk all in one piece, so this is what a seam looks like down this ridge. It's hardly noticeable. And then once my wing's on it, you won't really see it. So, gonna get everything measured up, cut our piece, and then we'll get to work. Alright, finishing off the bumper here. This is like a small piece that is fairly easy until you get out to the wings of it. And I ended up having to use more knifeless tape just to make it easier, and I was pretty satisfied with it, given that it didn't take me as long. To do this all in one piece would have been pretty challenging by myself. If I had more people, it probably would have been a little easier. You can see here how many wrinkles were in it, so I tacked it up to the top of the car and used the heat gun to pull the wrinkles out. That helped a lot, but it does leave a lot of stretching marks. And right here is the front bumper. I didn't show much of that either because I had a lot of people helping me with it, and I did it in a lot of pieces, at least on the bottom. And there's one on the top where the emblem goes, and honestly it looked fine to me, but like I said, if I went somewhere and had it done, I wouldn't have wanted them to do that. I also did gold accents on the front bumper as well as I did the fender garnishes and door handles. Right here I had ceramic coated the whole car, and basically I'm just testing the water on it. Whole car's been covered. Try to take the camera around and show you. Bumper's not on, but it'll be ready to put on tomorrow. Front bumper turned out so good. The gold in it.
gonna look pretty wild. So many colors. That's it. I'll get it outside tomorrow and we'll get a better look at it.
I appreciate everyone that's still here watching. I'm going to go through a few pictures of the vinyl up close, the tools I use, and the car being completely finished. I don't have much video footage of it being done except for a few autocrosses. Someone lovely thought it would be a good idea to damage it, so it's all taken off now, and hopefully soon I'll get the video out of the new color that it's been painted. I will say I like the wrap. I love the color. It was a little bit of a hassle to keep the bottom side from falling off. I guess the adhesive just wasn't enough, and with autocrossing it and dirt getting in it, it just didn't want to stay. But would I do it again? Probably. But under the circumstances, I decided to go with paint. And hopefully soon we'll see that video. Most of these are just shot once I got it done. I also posted some pictures so you can see the embossing a little better. It's kind of hard to see, like right there you can see the Autobots just faintly, and then my name in the door. It was just a few like minor touches I added. Something subtle that you don't really see unless someone tells you about it. Some people saw the mirrors, and it's funny going through drive-thrus, a lot of people saw the top of it and was like, that's awesome. Basically, like I said, I put vinyl underneath the vinyl. I cut it out and it gives it that three-dimensional look. And with lighting, it's really hard to get good pictures of it. But I wish I had more video footage. I may do like another series on this, like slow down and show each piece of the car being wrapped. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I'll definitely have to find some time to edit all of it. This video took forever to edit. I'm terrible at it, and I don't have the time for it. So I appreciate anyone that's watching, and hopefully you guys like and subscribe, and watch for more stuff. Right here I used the vinyl for like my windshield banner, and this is not really like the vinyl that I used on the car doesn't have adhesive behind it. Most of it doesn't. So using it for like decals on your windows, if you straight up use your power washer on it, it will fly right off of it. And I figured it would. I tried it, and the M on my last name just went flying off. And I put it right back on, and after the car being in the sun for almost a year, it actually stayed stuck to the window pretty well. So right here's after it got rained on with ceramic coating. If you don't know what ceramic coating is, it's kind of another clear coat on top of your finish, and it makes the water just kind of fall off of it. It beads up, and it makes the car 10 times easier to clean. So that was about 70 bucks and took me about, I think, probably a couple days to do. Not even a couple days. It was probably like 2 or 3 hours, if that. Really simple. On vinyl, I would say it worked pretty well, and now that it's on my paint, it was actually harder to do because it was so like smooth and glossy. But I thank you guys for sticking around. These are some of my favorite pictures of it here at the end, so check them out, and stay tuned for some more stuff. I hope to get this new video of the new color out. Really excited about it. I'm ready for some new car shows and some more racing. So thanks for sticking around.